Good morning, guys. Good morning. Audible? Good morning, guys. Is my voice is audible? More than this, if I shout. Please, guys, settle down fast. It is already late. It is already 9:15. So please settle down fast. So there is a space here. Please come here. Okay, fine, guys. Maintain silence. Everyone maintain silence. Okay, so have you guys designed your web pages? Have you guys created the web pages? So in yesterday's class, like we have seen multiple things like regarding the basic HTML tags, and also we have seen that how to create up a list as well. So we have seen all the three different types of the list that what we had. So what are the three different types of list we have? Descriptive list. And here if you see this, whenever that we wanted to create a list, and in that list whenever we wanted to create an ordered list or unordered list or the description list, always we have to start with the proper tag. So whenever if I wanted to create an ordered list, I have to tell as OL. And in that list, if I wanted to give that list of items, so I have to give as LI, which represents what? A list of item. And the similar manner, if I wanted to create an unordered list, then I have to give as what? UL. And again, inside that, if I wanted to give the list of items, then I have to give as what? As LI, same. For ordered list and unordered list, when I wanted to create a list, specifically I need to tell as an ordered list and unordered list, and inside that whatever that list of items that I will be giving, that list of items if I have to give, then even that also I have to start with the tag, I have to tell as an LI. And similarly, when if I wanted to give the description of the list, descriptive list, then I have to go with what? DL. And again, inside the DL, if you see, again two types of tags we will be using. If I want to give that term, so I have to tell as what? DT, which is what? Data term. And for that data term, if I want to give a description, I have to tell as DD, data description, or it is also called as data definition. So this is how that one by one that I have to use a proper tag, and this also I said any content that if you wanted to display it in the browser, directly you can give that content, you can display. But why are we using for everything that proper specific tags is because that format has to be maintained. Whenever anyone is seeing your code, whatever that you have written, that has to be a readable and that has to be an understood by the other person properly. So in a proper format that whenever we wanted to represent our data, then definitely we have to use what? We have to use a tags. Then only we can make one standard. Okay, list means this is how I can create. Paragraph means this is how I can create. Pre-formatted text means this is how I can create. Similarly, audios, videos, so all that if I wanted to place a proper format has to be maintained. So this is what that we have seen in the yesterday's class. We have seen about the basic HTML tags, a continuation, and then we have seen about the list. In that three types of list we have seen. So today we will be seeing three important things. Again, a very much important things these are, and if you are knowing this, then you can see in any of the websites that if you are seeing, they will be asking you to register. They will be giving you one form. Have you seen? As in the contact us, it will be there. So there, if you anywhere that in any websites that if you wanted to register, that form that they will be displaying. So today you will be seeing that how you can place that content in your web page. So today, in today's class, 3 important things that you will be seeing. So first one, we will be discussing about the links. Already we have used the anchor tag here. Okay, by using that anchor tag, what we have done, we have given a link. But in that link only some of the additional informations that you have to know. So what are the other attributes that we have in that which will be helpful for us and which they will be using frequently, that as an individual topic you have to learn. So first thing that what we will be discussing is about the links. Second thing that what we will be discussing is about how to create one table. Now, in the SQL, you know how to create a table, right? So, there you will be giving all the syntax, everything, fine. But here, inside the web page, how do you align that contents properly? So that is what that you have to see. So even in our front end also, we can design that table, we can create that table, we can put our contents there. So how do we create that proper table is what that we will be seeing. And third, the most very important thing that we will be discussing is how to create one form. That form can be a student registration form, that form can be the employee registration form, or that form can be a course registration form, it can be anything. So, but we will be discussing about what? We will be discussing about how to create that template, how to create that form, how to create that web page. So, please be very focused, because every element that what we will be using here, every property that what we will be using here, it is very much important. And till the forms that if you have learned properly, then you can get any kind of the content. See, we have seen audios, videos, everything, but apart from that we have other things also, like how to place that links properly, how to create, how to place any kind of a data in a proper table format if I wanted, how to do that. Similarly, how to create that particular form. So in the links, when it comes to the links, you guys already know it. By using an anchor tag, we will be doing that, you already aware about that. So here, related to that, we have to see some of the additional information that which we have. So after seeing that particular additional information that what we have, next we will be going with the other type. Okay, so next, so here in the list only, here one separate file I will create. Okay, so I will take here, I will go to my Visual Studio here. So I will go to my Visual Studio here. So here, first one, a new file I will be creating here. So here I will be telling as link.html. So you can see that I am giving, your focus should be on what I am doing here. They are coming, they will find a space, they will sit. You no need of keep on watching them until they go and sit there. So here I am creating one file, I am creating here, and for the name of the file name I am giving here as links.html. Okay, so I'll just click on enter here. So one new file I have created. So I'll get my structure here. So I'll tell here tab. So I'll remove the meta tag that what I have here. I don't want that meta tag. And then I will give one heading here. So here I will tell as links, or I'll tell as link. Basically, we will use that word as a link only. We will not be telling them as a links, because multiple, we will be always representing them as an individual part only. So tell it as a link only. So inside this, we already know that if one link I wanted to give, I have to go with an anchor tag only. So that is for sure. If you wanted to provide a link, and sometimes if you see a buttons can be as a link, sometimes an images can be as a link. Same. For that also, first you have to use an anchor tag. And inside that anchor tag only, suppose if you wanted to place an image, you wanted to make that as a link, so all that you can do it. So, but here what I will be doing, I will be taking at that anchor tag only, because we don't have any other tag. Link you want to place, we have to go with the anchor tag only. So, here I will be just giving one heading here, I will give one heading here, so I will tell here as link. After giving that heading here, I will use the anchor tag here. You can see that by default that I will be getting an attribute here, that is an href attribute. Basically our hypertext reference. So that proper link that what we have, that proper link we have to provide. We have to give that proper link here. So what I'll be doing, I'll just go to my Chrome. Here it is not visible, but I'm just taking that path. Okay. So here in other classes we have already seen. So we have already taken the Tap Academy path, we have already taken that URL, we have already taken. Now I just wanted to take one new link here. So here I'll just paste here the Facebook link. So I'll just tell here as https www.facebook.com, that path that I will give here. It's the same only. So what it is, last time we have given as what, https colon slash www.thetapacademy.com. But now what I am giving as facebook.com. So that is what I am giving. So if this link is proper, then it has to get automatically redirected to what? Redirected to the Facebook login page. Because again, there you have to give a credentials, all that will be there. But this part, it will just redirect to us to that login page. This will not redirect direct to our credentials inside our account. Why? Because here that security is there. You have to give your username, you have to give a password, then only you can get inside that your account. Otherwise, this particular link that whatever we have given, this will be directly, it will be taking us only to that login page. And directly if I leave only till here, will it work? Will it work? It will not work. Definitely I have to provide what? I have to provide a text here. Because directly that path will not be visible in our browser. So what we have to do? We have to give one text. How we said as a visit Tap Academy. Like that here also we have to give some content here. Where by clicking that content automatically that redirections will be happening. So here I will just tell as visit Facebook. So this is what that content that I am giving here. So this content only will be displayed where? This content only will be displayed in my browser. Yes, that is where that content, my content will be visible to me. So here I'll just right click here. I'll just show the Chrome here. Visible? So you can see here one heading I am getting here, and next what I am getting here? I am getting the link. See right now here, you need to understand, since the background color here it is black. So probably that colors, that whatever it is there, properly it will not be visible to you. But you have to check in your system. Understand, I don't know how many of you guys would have been observed this whenever you are doing some research. See, whenever you are doing that, see, I wanted to research on this particular topic. So whenever you are giving like this, what happens usually is that we will be getting as multiple links there we will be getting. So in that multiple links, what happens is that colors that if you have been observed, few colors, the color of that links will be present in the blue color starting. Once you have selected it, once you have used that, the color of that link will be changed to the purple. And when that link is present active, as when you are clicking that, when that link is getting activated, that color of that link will be present in the red color. So you need to understand this three colors that what we have for the link. So if it is a fresh link, if you have not used it any time before in your system, that will be present in the blue color. Suppose if you have already used that link will be present in the purple color. If your link is active, if it is working, if it is active, then it will be present in the red color. So please make sure that as you focus on this particular thing. See, right now that in which color it is giving? It is actually giving us in the purple color only. Okay, why? Because in this system probably previously anyone would have been used that link already. So that is why it is directly giving us, showing here the color as what? As purple. As before that they have been used this. So whenever that we are just clicking on this particular thing, that whatever I have here, can you see what color? Actually this is a red color. If you see, I have clicked it, still I did not leave my cursor here. I am just clicking on it. It means that what? It is still active. The link is getting what? The link is getting active. So that is why it is present in the red color. This is actually the red color. So when it comes to the links, these three colors of the links that you have to remember. So what are the three colors you have to remember? Blue, purple and red. So blue, when the link will be present in the blue color? When you have not visited that link. So understand in the normal terminologies, I mean in the standard terminologies, understand. So we have three. One is visited link, one is unvisited link and one is active link. If it is an unvisited, that link color will be present in the blue color. If it is visited, it will be present in the purple color. If it is in the active state, then it will be present in the red color. So these are the three things that you have to know. So what are those? Visited, unvisited and active. And that colors also properly you have to know. So this one, once you go back, you just try to do this. Just open any of the things. See the different colors that what you have there and observe that. Keep on pressing that link. Don't leave your cursor. That time you can see it in the red color also. As the link is present what? Active. You can see that as soon as I clicked on that, it has been redirected into my Facebook login page. So this is how that what we will be getting. We will be getting our output in terms of what? In terms of the links. See, in the interviews, definitely they will be asking you guys this. That as tell me that what are the three colors that we have in the links. So that time you have to explain them properly. We have a visited link, we have an unvisited links and we have an active link. If the link is visited, it will be present in the purple color. If the link is unvisited, it will be present in the blue color. If the link is in the active, it will be present in the red color. So this is how that what you have to do. You have to represent them in terms of the, you have to represent them in terms of what? In terms of proper terminology and representation. And here in the Chrome that if you are seeing here, okay, now I will go back here, okay, now this is my output. Now you can see that when I am clicking this, observe, when I am clicking this, where it is opening in the same tab only. Yes or no? Where it is opening in the same tab only it is opening. See, once again I will redirect, I am clicking here, in the same tab only it is opening to me. So this also you can change. Suppose your link, whatever it is there, that content, if you want that to be opened in the new tab, not in the same tab, one more new tab it has to take automatically, and in that tab the link has to be displayed. That also you can change it by using the target attribute. By using a target attribute, you can tell whether you want that page to be displayed in the same tab or whether you want that page to be displayed in the new tab. So here I will show you that thing here. So here what attribute is that? It is a target attribute. So what attribute it is? It is a target attribute which you have to use. So here I will be showing two of the values. Always understand here href that what we have here. This href it is called as an attribute. And for that whatever the link that we are providing here, this is technically called as a value for that particular attribute. Similarly here target, what it is? Target is, it is nothing but it is an attribute. For that what we will be providing here, that is called as what? That is called as a value. So here we have that particular values to be given. So here you can see that actually 4 options are available to me. So I have a blank, I have a parent, I have a self and I have a top. In this 2 things you have to understand properly. One is blank and one is self. One is blank and one is self. So here I will give this as a blank. So what value I am setting here? I am giving this as a blank. So and then I will save this here and I will go to my Chrome here. Here I will go back. I will do refresh once again here and I will click on this particular thing. Tell me now where it is opening? Is it opening in the same tab? Where it is opening? It is opening in the new tab. So our target attribute or our anchor attribute, that whatever we have, for that by default it will be present as a self. Self in the sense that whatever the link that you would have been given, that should be present where? That should be present in the same. Where it should be present? That should be present in the same tab only. That link should be opened in the same tab only. But if I wanted that, see, every time I don't want to click on that back button there. I don't want to click on that. Automatically I wanted to go to my tab. So in that case, if I want my content, if I want that link content, whatever it is there, in a new tab to be opened, then I have to tell it automatically by using a target attribute, and I have to tell as what? I have to tell as a blank. So what blank value will be doing? It will be opening that page in the new tab. So these 2 values are important. One is a self and one is blank. By default it will be present in the self only. But if you want it in the new tab, you can do what? You can go with the blank. So this is all about the links that what you have. And this links colors that whatever I said, visited, unvisited, active, you can change this colors as well. But changing of that colors, we cannot do it in the HTML. That we have to do it in the CSS only. So in the HTML, these 3 colors are by default it will be present. For visited, it will be purple, for unvisited, it will be blue, and for active, it will be red. We cannot change that colors by using the HTML. But in which tab that we wanted to open, in a same tab or a new tab, that we can change it by using what? By using a target attribute, and that target attribute we have to set as what? We have to set as a blank. Then it will be opening in the new tab. So this is all about the links that which we have. This is one of the interview question. So they will be asking you, explain about the link and explain about the 3 types of colors that what it has and what is its representation. Means purple means what, red means what, blue means what, or else they can also ask you, so why it is keep on changing that colors. All these are general questions that for any developers or especially for the web developers they will be asking, because you guys should be aware that why it is changing, why it is present. So many of you guys would have not been even focused that. It will be present in the blue color, then it will be changed to the purple, then active means it will be changing to the red color. Many of you guys would have not been focused it so far, but that is also it is important. So make sure you try it out all this whenever you are practicing. Analyze now properly. Now see the contents properly in your websites, in your web applications whenever you are clicking any of the links there. So this is all about what? This is all about our links. Okay, I hope how much ever that we can do it in the HTML, we have seen all these things. This is very small, but again it is very much important for your interviews. So definitely they will be asking a questions on this. Okay, so next we have to see related to our next topic, which is nothing but how we have to create one table. So table in the SQL, probably it will be present like before storing your data, the structure has to be present. So that is why you are doing all that there. But here, sometimes we can find a content in such a way that I want to represent that in a proper format in my website. Okay, in my website. See, sometimes you would have been seen, right, that a table format only will be present in multiple websites to differentiate between two topics. So all the tables, everything, it will be present in the websites. If you see in any educational websites, in that if they wanted to give any difference between the contents of two topics, all that, they will be maintaining that table format. So how do you create that particular table in terms of our HTML is what that you have to see. So here whatever we will be doing, everything we have to communicate by using what? By using a tags only. But how do we start it? How that terminologies will be represented, that is what that you have to understand. Okay, so here let us see that part here. So table here, so I am taking a certain records here, okay, a certain values that whatever we have, see, in terms of an SQL, this you will be taking as what? You will be considering as a columns, you will be considering as a rows, and you will be considering as what? As a values. So basically this is how your table will be present, where your table will be present in your SQL. And to do this, one thing that you have to create a database, you have to create a table by using a commands. There you have to specify the data types, column names, and then insertion, all that you will be doing. But here also this is a table only. Here also that what we will be representing here it is what? It is a table only. But here what terminologies that we have to use for this columns or for this records, and what do we have inside this? How do we represent that in our HTML? That terminologies you have to understand. If you are understanding that particular terminologies, then by taking that particular tags, that we can easily implement this table. What we can do? We can easily implement this table. So this entire thing, it is called as what? As a This entire thing it is called as what? A table. So in the HTML, if we wanted to create a table, then we have to start telling that I am creating a table. So to tell that, we have a tag itself there called as a table tag. So what we have to do? We have to tell as what? As a table. We have to start with what? We have to start with the table. And after that here, whatever that you are seeing, all these things are called as what? As a rows for us. Here also it is a rows only, but they are specifically are called as a table rows. What they are called as? Table rows. And see, these are my columns, right? These are my column names. But these columns are also present in one row. So this is also is considered as what? This is also will be considered as a row. In that row only, you have to specify that column names that which are present. So here that representation is very much important. So what is this? This is a row. But here specifically we have to tell as what? Table row. So what is a tag we will be having here? TR, which represents what? Table row. So like that, this everything that what we have here. So this everything that we will be telling as what? As a table row only. So that is how that every record that what we have here, that everything that we will be representing as what? As a table rows. So if I wanted to give column also, I have to start with what? I have to start with the table row. If I wanted to provide a columns also, what should I do? I have to take up what? I have to take up the table row, because inside that table row only that I will be having that names. I will be having that column names here. So all these are represented as what? As a table rows. Which is a tag that it will be representing? TR. So before I start a table, so first I have to tell that I am starting with the table. So what tag we have to use? Table tag. And here inside this row that whatever we have, so whatever here I have a student ID, student name, student age, gender. Basically this columns that what we represent, this only are technically called as a table headers. What they are called as? Table headers. So inside that table row, I have to specify that table headers first. Then only inside that whatever data it is there, that data I have to tell. So what are all this called as? This is a table row and this is specifically it will be calling as a table header. So in SQL what we will be telling as a column, here we have to tell as what? As a table header. So table, inside that each table row will be there. In that table row only table headers also will be present. So each of this it is called as what? Each of this it will be called as a table header. So each of that columns will be called as a table header. Now inside this what and all I have here? 101 Paul 23 male. So what is this? This we will be telling there as a cell. Each the smallest units what we will be calling in SQL as a cell, and in that cell only what we have given? We have given that values, we have given that data there. So that individual things here it is called as a table data. So it is called as what? As a table data. So I have to tell that as what? As TD. So I have to tell that as what? As a TD. So understand here, this three important tags are important. Three tags are there which is very much important. One, if I want to start creating a table, I have to tell that I am creating a table. For that we have to start with the table tag. And inside that table tag, everything it will be considered as a row. So if I wanted to start with that row, I have to tell as a TR. As a table row I am starting. In the first row, what I have here? Table headers. So inside that first table row, I have to specify all the table headers. In the second row, what should I specify? Table data. In the third row, what should I specify? Table data. In the fourth row, what should I specify? Table data. So like that, once you have specified your table headers in the row, next you have to keep on telling what? In each and every row you have to keep on telling your table data. So if you are understanding this three tags, table tag, TR tag, TH tag and TD tag also. Table row, table header, table data. All this should be present inside a table. So we have to start with the table tag. So if you understand this representations, if you understand this terminologies, then you can easily create a table that whichever you wanted to create. So let us see that how practically that we can implement our tables here. Okay, so here I will be creating one new file here. Okay, so here I will be telling this as table.html I will tell. And I will take my structure here. So I will just remove this metadata what I have here. So here I will tell as table. Okay, I will tell here as what? As a table. Now, next I wanted to start creating a table. So what should I tell here? So first I have to start with what? I have to start with the table. So I have one tag called as what? As a table tag. So inside this only, what should I give? I have to give my table headers also, and I have to give what? I have to give my table data, table row, everything I have to provide. So table I have started. Now inside that, which one should I start with? Table row. In that table row only we had a table header. So first what we have to do? First row we have to tell. Inside that row only we have to specify what? We have to specify the table headers. So here I will tell that I am starting with one row. See, I am starting with my first row. And inside that first row, what I will be giving? I will be giving my table header. So each header, whenever you are giving, that you have to specify as table header. So first one there, I had what? I had a student ID. So this is my first header in my first row. Inside that first row only I have one more header also. So which is that header I had? It is a student name. So next header what I had here? Student age. So next header what we had there? Student gender. So next what we had? So we can have a student ID, we had a student name, we have a student age, and we have what? We have a student gender. So this headers that what I have here, that according to my table only I will give. So here next what I wanted, one more header it is there, that header it is what? It is a student gender. So what is this? This is my first row. In my first row what I have given all my headers. Because in first row what I had my all the headers. In the next row only I had a table data. In the next row only I had a table data that I have to provide. So in my first row what I have here, I have the table headers. So I will just run this. So what I am getting here, can you see all the headers I am getting? Student ID, student name, age and gender. So this is how that I am getting here. Okay. So next what I have here? So next I have to give that data. So what should I tell here again? Table row. Understand that the table data is present where? It is present in the table row only. So again I have to tell that I am starting with my second row. I am starting with what? I am starting with my second row. Inside that row what I am giving? I am giving my table data. So I am giving what? I am giving my table data. So you give. First what I have to give? ID I have to give. Then I have to give a name. Then I have to give an age. Then I have to give what? I have to give a gender. So that is how that data that we have to provide. Okay. So what data that we have here first? 101 Paul 23 male. So first here I will tell as 101. So next what I have here again one more data I have to tell. I have to tell as table data. So the name is Paul. Next one more data I have to give in that row. So I have to tell as table data. So next what I have? Age. So I have said here as what? As 23. Next one more data I have in that row. So what is that? Gender. So I have given there as what? As a male. So this is in my first row what I had the table headers. In my second row what I have my table data. In the third row what I have? Table data. In the fourth row what I have? Table data. So that is how that I will be having. Now can you see? So I have an ID, I have a name, I have an age, I have a gender. So this is my first row. In first row I have an headers. In the second row I have a table data. So similarly we have to provide the next row also. So next row what we have here? Again I have to tell I am starting with the new row. In that what I will be giving? I will be giving the table data. So here I will tell as 102. So next what I had here, Jennifer 23 female. So I will tell here as my second data is what? Name. So what is this? This is Jennifer. So next table data I have. So what is the age? 23. So next what is the table data I have here? It is a female. So in the first row I have a table headers. In my second row I have a table data. In the third row I am having a table data. So how many students records I have given so far? 2 students. Okay, that columns also I have said that columns only here it is called as what? As a table data. Okay, so next again if one more row if I wanted to give, same. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this entire thing whatever I have because it's the same thing only that what I wanted to repeat as a table data for my ID, name, age and gender. But I will be changing the information here. So here I will keep this as a 3. Okay, so I will check that what data I have here. It is John. So I will tell here as John. And age is 22 I will tell here. And what is the gender? It is a male. So this is what? This is my third. Actually this is my fourth row. But what is the record? It is 3 students details I have given. Okay, so next again I'll copy this entire row itself here and again once again I'll paste this but I will change the information. I'll tell here 4. So next what we have? So Raju we have 23 male. Next Praveen we have, right? So Raju we have 23 we have male. So what is an ID? 4. So next again one more time I will copy this record. I'll paste it here. So what is the ID? It is 5. What is the name? And what is the age? 22. And it is a male only. 23. So again, whatever data that you wanted to give, you can give. For us, what is important here? Are we getting that proper table here or not? So here, I'll just click here. Can you see here how everything that details everything I am getting here? So I am getting what? I am getting an header here. And then what I am getting? I am getting my records as well. Now, till here you have understood properly. See, I have a table. When I have to create a table, I have to start with my table tag. Once I have to start my first row. In the first row what I have my headers, table headers. In the second row what I have? Table data. Third row table data. Fourth row table data. Fifth row table data. Sixth row table data. So I have given this entire thing. I have provided the information also. Now that information that whatever I have given, that contents that whatever I have given, I am getting it. There is nothing problem here. I am getting it. But am I getting that table here? That I am not getting. See, we said just I want a row. It gave me a row. I said I want the table header. It gave me a table header. I said that I want the table data. It gave me the table data. But I never said that I want that border for that particular table, right? So that also we have to tell it specifically. So here, how to give that particular border here is, you need to give one property for your table, one attribute you need to provide for your table. So that attribute itself it is called as a border. What property you have to provide? What attribute you have to give? Border. What this border will be doing here? It will be giving me that border for that particular table. If I have that border only, I can correctly tell that, okay, this is what? This is a table. If that border it is not there, it will not even give us that feel that it is what? It has a table. So that it should have here. Okay, so next here, let us see how we are getting an output. Here, actually you can see that I am getting a border. but it is not directly visible to you because the color has been changed here. But at least you can find some difference. You can find some difference here. You can find some difference here. So properly that borders you will be getting. And here you can ask me, ma'am, here for everything it is providing me that border. For everything it is providing me what? It is providing me a border. Now, I want that for everything as a proper solid border only I want. I don't want this like an individual border. That change we have to do it in the CSS. That change where we have to do? We have to do it in the CSS. But right now in our HTML, if directly we are providing as a border, this is how for every element that we will be getting what? We will be getting up the borders. But you can see that it is present in terms like a proper table only. It's the only difference that what we have is for everything that it is showing that particular border. That's all. But you can see that properly the things that has been aligned and properly it is showing. Again, it is not that this only is final, right? So we can also change that by using what? By using a CSS. Means whatever the look of this that we have, we can change that look by using our CSS. So when that time comes that all that whatever we have that properties there, all that we will be seeing. But in our HTML, if we wanted to create a table, that this is how that we can create a table. So how many attributes are present inside for a table to create? How many tags that we have? So what are those? Table, table, table row, table header, table data. So here columns are called as what? Table headers. Values are called as what? Table data. So row it is called as table row. Okay, so wherever you are representing that a table, along with that table we have to represent it. So this is how that what we can do, we can create our proper table. So again I said that the look of this table that we can change it. Okay, the look of this table that we can change and we can give some other as well. But that some other where we can do it by using what? By using the CSS only. So when that CSS comes, we can see that how to change that particular look. So in the HTML, you need to understand all about what? All about the placing your contents. How to change the look of that, how to make it properly aligned, that everything we will be seeing in the CSS. But right now in the HTML, to create a table, is it clear to everyone? How can I place one table? How can in that table, how can I place my content and how can I display that in a table format in my web page? Is this clear? So this is how that you have to do. Again, you have to start thinking, as I said, requirements. Where exactly that I can place this table? I don't know how many of you guys are every day are developing your web pages. But make sure in the interviews, if they ask you that whether you have created a project or not, if you tell no there, so that won't be good. Again, I am repeating. Why? Because projects are very, very much important for your interviews. Whatever we are learning on the everyday, daily basis, all that web pages combined only, you can make one beautiful project. Just the thing right now, you are just understanding about placing a content. But in few days, you will understand how to change the look of them as well. But before you go to change the look, you have to understand how to place a content first. If content only is not there, we cannot change a look. So make sure that you develop your web pages, design your web pages, design how the content and where the content has to be placed. And please mention all of them in your resumes. And in the interviews, showcase that web pages that what you have created individually. And again, when I tell that show the web pages that whatever you have created, don't show that what we are seeing in a class. I know that you will do. This is what I have done. You have to take all of them. You have to properly make an alignment. You have to properly think, design. You have to place that content and you have to showcase. So please kindly, if you have not started designing your web pages, start designing your own web pages. So this is all about the table that what we have here. Okay. So next, what we will be discussing, that is again a very important one. It is related to the forms. It is related to what? It is related to the forms. So where and all you have seen the forms so far? Enrolling the forms, right? See, same students form you would have been seen. Again, there is a difference. This is not a Google form. Google form is different. And what form that we are talking about, it is different. Okay. See, why I have specified is you guys said for the drive when we applied. Usually when you are applying for the drive, that will be a Google forms. Most of the cases. Until and unless directly that you went to the website and there if you have enrolled, that will be the our web application forms that what we will be creating. But we have a Google forms, that is a different, and this form is different. Please don't tell this as a Google form. Okay, so this naming you can give anything, registration form or whatever form you want to give, you give. But understand here, this is very much important. See, in any applications you take, suppose I wanted to contact that person, I have to give that particular form to fill the details for them. If I wanted to take any registrations from the student related to the course or related to the job, anything, that has to be given for them. So, in any websites you see, in any web applications you see, definitely that contact information will be present. In that contact information, if you are seeing there, in that contact information, sometimes they can tell, you give your mail ID and write your concerns here. Write your query here. We will be reverting back to you with the solution. And leave about all that also. Whenever you are going to the Facebook or whenever you are going to an Instagram, it will ask you username and password. What it is? It is a form. What it is? It is a form. Let it be in the Instagram or let it be in the Facebook or let it be anywhere in the LinkedIn, it will be asking you to register your account. And once you have registered your account, whenever you wanted to go back to your account, it will ask you to enter the username and password, and one button also will be there as a submit button. So this only we will be telling as what? As a form. So now you can think that in any applications you see, definitely the forms will be present. So at least to provide your details or at least to take their details. So all this, that how to design that particular form, it can be a sign up form, it can be a login form, it can be a registration form, it can be any kind of a form. But form in the sense, this is how that you have to create. So in that while creating a forms, a basic terminologies are present. If you understand that the terminologies properly, a basic form you can create. But terminologies are important. If you remember that the terminologies, easily that you can design what? You can design that whichever the forms that you wanted to design. Okay. So here let us see that particular forms that what we have here. So I am just taking a sample example. So whatever I will be taking here, automatically we will be implementing that, and for that what are the additional things that we can do, that also we will be implementing. So here you would have been seen, right? So I will be getting, they will be given as a name, and for that they will be giving one text box also. where what you will be doing, you will be giving your name. You will be giving that input there. You will be typing there. So that is how that will be present in any of the forms that you will be seeing here. Yes. So similarly that this name, that whatever it is there, that is technically called as a label. So many days that in the registration forms that whenever you are doing it, you have just seen that form being as a user. You would have been never seen that as being in the developer's perspective. You would have been just seen that as what? In the user perspective only. For a user, what it is, this is one name. They are telling that you enter what? You enter a name. But this name, that whatever it is there, we have to design, right? We have to implement that, right? So for us, for developers, what is this name? It is nothing but it is called as a label. So to give that label only, we have a tag called as a label tag. By using that label tag only, we have to give what? We have to give this name. So name, I can display it by using what? By using a label tag. Why? Because that is technically called as what? As a label. Now next, whatever the input box that I will be having here, what usually you will be doing here, you will be inserting. I mean, you will be giving your name. You will be typing your name. So there, for us what it is, I am typing a name. I am giving a name. But for a developers, what the user will be giving, that will be called as an input. For a developers, what the user will be giving, that is called as what? As an input. So that input is what that we have to create. That input box. So this is technically called as what? As an input box. So that input box that we have to create. See, so many days the terminologies what you had in your mind is different. Now you are designing them. Now you are developing them. So you have to see them in this perspective only. So name, in the sense that should be one label for you. That box, whatever it is that for you, it should be an input box. Why? Because user will be giving the input to that particular box. So in the login page also, username, what it is a label. Whatever box that you will be getting, what it is technically called as an input box. So here, to give this particular label, I have a tag called as what? As a label tag. What tag I have here? Called as a label tag. So similarly here, if I wanted to give that particular box, that whatever I have here. So what it is an input box. So to create that particular input box only here, I have one tag called as an input tag. What tag I have here? Input tag. So to create a label, I have what tag? Label tag. To create that input box, what tag I have? I have an input tag. Again, what input we are giving, it can be vary. Sometimes it can be a text, sometimes it can be a number, sometimes it can be the date. So that inputs will be varying. So how to change that input, we'll see it practically. But to take that input, to get that box, that input box, we have to use which tag? Input tag. So similarly, we have the other, like an age that I have said here. So age will be called as what? As a label. There that box will be called as what? As an input box. So similarly, suppose if I have any other thing. So this will be called as a label and that will be called as what? As an input box. So whenever we have to give a label, every time we have to use a label tag. Whenever we want that box, that input box to come, we have to use an input tag. And finally, that whenever I wanted to create one submit button here, I wanted to create one submit because we have to click, right? As soon as we gave all this particular information, what we will be doing? We will be clicking on that submit button. Sometimes it will be submit. Sometimes if multiple form pages are present, then we will be going to what? Next. So that is how the buttons will be created, but the process approach will be same. If you know to create one button, you can create any button. So now here, whatever this submit button that I have here, this I can create by using two tags. One is by using an input tag only I can create. Second one is specifically I have a tag called as a button tag. I have two tags here. One is by using an input tag only I can create. Second one is what? Second one is we have a button tag only. By using that button tag only I can create. So here in the HTML if you are seeing, you no need of thinking so much. If you see whatever the terminologies that we will be using here, that the terminologies will be like a self-explanatory only. Little bit changes will be there, but if you are understanding them practically, name in the sense it is one label. If I want to get that box, it is nothing but it is an input box. To get that I have to use an input tag, and to create that button I can use a button tag or I can use an input tag. So all that you have, it has to come into your mind. So basically this is how that forms. Again, this is just nothing, it is there. We will be creating a proper form where a complete information that you can have. And in that, while creating a forms only, there are multiple things that you should be aware. Initially, it will be difficult for you to remember everything, but once you get used to it, you will never forget it. But you have to practice in that level. So now I wanted to create what? I wanted to create this particular form. See, in our HTML, whenever I want to create a list, properly I said what it is. When I want to create a table, I said it what I want to create. Similarly, when I want to create a form also, what should I do? I have to tell that I am creating one form here. What I have to tell? That I am creating one form here. So that is how inside that form we will be giving a label input box, and finally we will be giving what? We will be giving that button, that submit button, that whatever we have, that we will be creating. So same thing here, if you remember this terminology, it will not even take 2 minutes for you to design this. I am seriously telling, it will not even take 2 minutes for you to design this, if you properly know the terminologies. Okay, so let us see that how can we create this particular thing here. So I will be taking one new file here. I will tell this as form 1. Why? Because one more form we will be creating with a proper content. How your form will be there, like that properly we will be creating a form. So that is why I am giving here as form 1. So I will give here as an HTML. So I will take my format here. So in this format, I just wanted to remove this meta. So here I will be telling as form 1. Okay. Now I wanted to start creating a form. So which tag should I start with? Form tag. Like how to create a table, I had what? I had a table tag. Like that, if I wanted to create a form, I have to do what? I have to use the form tag. So we have a tag here called as what? Called as a form tag. And here this is a form tag, and right now you can see that one attribute I am getting by default. What is that attribute? Action attribute. Right now I will leave it empty. I will tell you what is this functionality once we completely create a form. Okay, let it be as it is. I will not be assigning any kind of a value here. When we have to give a value here, and what is the purpose of this action attribute, I will tell you at last, once we have created the complete form. Okay, now next what I want first here? Label. Then only what I want? Input type. Suppose if I want that box first and then a name, what should I give first? Input. Then I have to tell as what? As label. Why? Because you need to understand in the HTML, whatever the statements that we are giving, it will be executing line by line. So this we have discussed in the first example only. So everything here it will be present what? In the line by line. So first here I wanted to give one label here. Okay, I wanted to give what? I wanted to give one label here. And what is the name of that label here? I need to give as name. So that name I am giving. And here if you see, I have something called as a for attribute here. Why that for attribute? In the next statement I will tell. So first I have given a label and I have given a name here. So next what I want? I want input. Input box I want. So to create that input box, which tag we have to use? Input tag. So we have to tell here as what? As an input tag. You can see here, for that input tag, by default I am getting one attribute called as a type attribute. So here for that type attribute, by default one value it is getting assigned. What it is? Text. But this type can be changed. This type can be changed, but right now name it is what? It is a text only. Whatever input that I will be entering, what type it will be there? It will be the text type only. So that is why that a type I will keep it as it is. So next what I want? One more label I want, right? Because I want to display age. So next what I will be telling here? Once again I have to tell as label. Then what should I tell here? Age. Next what I want? I want the input. So here I will be telling as an input type. Now age is a text type it is? No, what it is? Number. The input type that what we will be giving here, what it is? It is a number. So you no need of giving a text here. You can directly tell as what? As a number. So what is an input type that we are giving here? It is a number. So this is how that you have to create. So next what I want? One more label I want. So I will be telling here as what? Label. And for that what I have to give here? Email. So next I want one input type here. So I will tell here input type here I am telling. And now input type, is it a text right now? See, for an email we have a different format, right? We will be having a different format. So that is why here tell input type it is what? It is an email. So tell here as what? As an input type as what? As an email. So now once all this done, what finally I want? Button. What finally I want? Button. As I said, we have a button tag. Or else we can go with what? We can go with the input tag also. Right now I will go with the input tag here, and the type here I will be giving as a submit. Type I will give here as what? As a submit. Now here if you see, there are few things which are left empty, which has come by default. Yes, so in that if you see here, I have what? I have an action here. This action right now if I tell also you will not understand. So once we create a complete form, then I will tell you what is the use of this action attribute here. Next here, when we come here, label for equals to one for I have here. What is for here? It is an attribute. And why this attribute here is, now whatever label you are creating here, is there anywhere that this label you have created for this input box only? Anywhere is it represented that this label is for this input box only? Anywhere? No. We have directly gave a label, we have directly gave an input type, but where are we telling that for this label, this is the input box that I am given. This is an input box that I have to take. Where are we representing that? We are not representing that anywhere. So that is why here some of the additional informations you have to provide. What is that some of the additional information is? Whenever you are creating any of the text boxes, whenever you are creating any text boxes, for that give one attribute called as an ID attribute to find that particular text box uniquely. ID attribute, why we are giving for this text box? To find that particular text box uniquely. Now, for us right now in the HTML, probably this ID attribute, whatever we have, it is of no use. But when we wanted to the form validations, means what data that you are giving, I need to check whether it is right or wrong. Without checking, should I take and put that in my database? No. That is called as a validations. So when you are doing that validations in your JavaScript, whenever you are doing that validations in your JavaScript, this ID attribute plays an important role. So directly there, if I give an attribute, you will not understand. So understand, whenever you are creating any of the text box, whenever you are creating that input box, make sure that each of that input box, you will be providing one attribute, that is an ID attribute. Why? To identify that input box uniquely. So in the future, whatever we are giving as an input to that box, to take that and to validate that data. And in the testing also, whenever we develop an applications, the test engineers, what they will be doing, they will be testing an application. That time, in the automation especially, what they will be doing here is, they will be going to this particular text box, they will be locating that particular text box, and they will start automating it, means testing that by giving different kind of the inputs there. So, being as a front-end developer, if you are not developing it properly, then the test engineers cannot test your application properly. By keeping that ID only, the test engineers will uniquely locate that particular element and they will be testing that particular element, whether is it taking proper input or not. When I am giving a wrong input, whether it is telling or whether it is providing me that information, all that testing will be done. So that is why whenever you are creating an input box, make sure that you have what? You have that ID attribute to identify that particular text box uniquely. So here, for that ID, you can give anything that what you wanted to give. Any value you can provide, but make sure that value should be unique. So here I will tell here as a name only I will tell. So what value I have given here for this? What value I have given for this? Name value only I have given. Now what I will do here, first of all, I have not even given an information anywhere that this is for this input box only. So whatever that ID value you have given here, that ID unique value you can specify here, so that it will clearly understand that as what? This label you have created for which text box or input box? To this input box. So this is how that properly that what we can do, we can give that input box and we can give that particular label that whatever that we have. So that is how that we have to give here as what? We have to give that label here and we have to give what? We have to give that particular input box. So did you understand why for is there and why the input text box is present here? So in this, that what we will be, what is the use of this for? To tell it properly that this label I am giving for what? I am giving for this input box. And why I am giving an ID attribute here? To find that particular text box uniquely. Now is it clear why for and why ID attribute? All these are interview questions. They will ask you, what is the use of for in the label tag? What is the use of ID attribute in the input type? So all this that they will be asking you. Here, one more attribute I will give. But that attribute, what is its functionality? Right now I will not tell. When the next example I am taking, there I will tell you what is the use of this attribute. So what is that attribute here is, it is a name attribute. We have an attribute itself called as what? As a name attribute. And for this one value I will give here as a name only. See, understand, here and here what I am giving, it belongs to this input box only. So it will not provide you any conflicts. Again, it is not mandatory that here the value and here value it should be same. For my reference, what I am doing here, I am giving the same value for my ID attribute also, name attribute also. What is the functionality of ID attribute? You understood. But what is the functionality of the name attribute? I will tell it in the next example. Where and why it is important. So same approach only we will be giving for what? We will be giving for the rest of the things as well here. So here also I will tell as what? As a age. And same thing I will be using here. I will tell as what? ID, age. One more attribute I will take, name, age. Similarly, here also I will be telling this as what? As email. See, again, it is not that you have to give the same thing only. You can give anything. But make sure that proper representation should be present. So next what I will give here? Email I will give here and email. And here if you see, you can ask me, ma'am, here you have given first ID, then you have given a name. But here first you are giving a name, then ID. Will it work? 100% it will work. There is no restriction that this attribute only should come first. This attribute only should come next. There are no such kind of restrictions. So wherever you want, you give. What is its functionality? It will be performed. So this is how that what we have to do. We have to create that particular form that what we want. And I have given what? I have given that input type equals to submit. So let us see the output of this first. So I will save this here. Right click. Open with live server. Can you see here how I am getting? How I am getting here? Everything I am getting in one line. So I want them in the next line. So what should I give? Where should I give that? After the input box. So I have to go to my code, and after my code, see after this, and I will be giving here as a break. If I am giving a break, it will go to only next line. If little bit more space I want, then I have to give again as what? As a break. So same thing that I will copy this, and same thing I will give for my other input boxes as well. For other input box also I have given. So now let us see. Now can you see? So same thing, right? See here you can type whatever you wanted to type it, you can type it. Next whatever, see number I have given an input, right? So you can see number I am getting here automatically. So that option also you are getting here. What input that you wanted to give a number, you can give it. And next email that you are giving here, automatically it is suggesting you sometimes, see. So that is how it will be suggesting. Now, in this only you need to understand few important things. Did you understand why we have to give input type as a text only, number only, email only? Why? Because properly it will be taking an input. Properly whatever format it is there, in that format only it will be accepting the values. So here, now I will directly click on submit. Can you see that automatically it is taking that? Is it telling me that I have not given any information for an age and email? Did it tell me? No. See here, again here, name I will not give, some age I will provide here. Okay, and I will click on submit here. Is it telling me that I did not fill that name here and email here? No. But you would have been seen, right? It will be informing you. See, you did not fill this particular text box. You fill it. Why? Because they would have been made that particular text box acts as a mandatory field. As what? As a required field. So if they specify mandatory and if they tell as a required, then if you wanted to submit a data also, it will not allow you to submit. It will clearly tell you that, see, you have not filled an input here. So how do we make that in our HTML? First of all, let me tell you guys, the duty of the HTML is to just display the content. The duty of HTML, it is not to check whether you have given a content or not, or whether you have given a proper content or not. That is not a duty of HTML. But still, HTML5. Which version are you studying? HTML5. So in the HTML5, few of the additional features they have added. That is, whenever you are creating a form, if you want that to be made as a mandatory field, you can make it. How you can make it is, for that, they are giving you one attribute. That attribute, what we have to do? We have to use. What is that attribute is? That attribute name is nothing but it is a required attribute. So what is that attribute name? Required attribute. So if you want that particular text box to be made as a mandatory, what attribute you have to use? Required. Where? In HTML. Where? In the HTML. I'll save this. I'll go here. I'll try to click the submit. Can you see now what it is telling? Can you see now what is it allowing me to click anything here? No. If at all, if you give any other, also it will not allow you. It is telling you, see, please fill out this field. Similarly, for rest of the things also, what can I give here? I can give that required attribute. So here also I can give as what? As a required attribute. Again, there is no rule or restriction that here required means here only you have to tell. No. At last you want to tell inside that tag, you tell. In between you wanted to tell that attribute, you tell. Wherever you want to tell, you tell. But functionality will be happening for that. So I'll save this. I'll go here. Now I'll give here as a Sachin. Now I'll click here submit. Can you see now for which field it is showing? Age. Now here I will give some age. I will give here. And I'll try to click on submit. Now what it is telling? For an email. So like that, one by one, to whichever fields that you are not giving an input, what it will do? It will start informing you. And this message what I am getting here, that message is a default message. That is not the message which I have given. Again, if you want to change that message, then you have to learn the JavaScript. Here I cannot change that message, not even by using a CSS. It is by using a JavaScript, because that comes under the validation of your data. So here what we have to do? We have to go with this default text that is provided for us by the HTML5. So this is how that we will be creating. Now, there will be a few and set of people that by seeing at that email or by seeing that name, they will not understand in which format that they have to give the data. Many times it happens, right? So when they are asking you enter the percentage, you will not know in which format you have to give your percentage in that registration form. So what you will do? You will go, you will cross verify, you will ask, how should I give my percentage here? So you will ask, then what you will do? You will fill up. But if you are in somewhere, how do you come here and ask? So what we can do here is, as by default, one example we can place inside our text box. What we can do as an example, we can place that particular content where inside our text box. So that we can do it by using an attribute. What it is? By using the placeholder attribute. So we have one attribute which is that placeholder. So here I will tell that placeholder placeholder, and here that example I will give. So example name, in the sense I will give here as a Sachin. Okay, here you can tell that this one you are providing as what? You are providing as an example. So like this one content, or like this one example you can place inside your text box. So I'll save this here, I'll show this. Can you see here by default? After that you can type whatever you want. But before that, can you see that how I am getting that example here? Can you see how I am getting an example here? So this is how that example that you can provide. Because many people will be there that who will not be knowing that how you have to give an input. In which style that you have to provide an input. So in that case, for that particular text box, what I can do? I can give an example. How I can give? By using which attribute? Placeholder. So in that place, that it will be holding certain data or content there. As what? As an example. And same thing that you can give it for the others as well. So here I will copy the same placeholder here. I will give here for this particular text box, I will give here. Example, what is this? This is an age, right? So I will just give some 23 here. And here example, so this is a mail ID. So here I will be telling as at gmail.com. Okay. So as an example I am giving here. Okay. So here, can you see how that examples are coming? It is because of what? It is because of the placeholders. Placeholder, by using that placeholder attribute, what I can do? I can place the contents like this as an example to the users who are doing what? Who are giving an input for us. And one more important thing that I wanted to tell you guys here. Here, I will give one certain number as an example I will give. Now, in the email, what I will do? I will just tell here as Sachin. What I am telling here? I am just telling here as Sachin. And I will try to click on submit button. Can you see what it is telling? It is telling please include at the rate. What it is telling me? Please include the at the rate. You know why this is coming? Because we have said input type should be what? Email. We have said that specifically that input type should be what? Should be an email. So that is why in the email, when you are not giving that in the proper format, it is clearly telling you that please include what? At the rate. Now I will include at the rate here. I will include at the rate here. Now I will click on submit. Now what it is telling? Please enter a part following at the rate, means after at the rate. It is telling that please enter that it is incomplete. It is telling that after at the rate you need to give something. So it is telling that still you are missing some part here. Now here I will tell as Gmail. What I am telling here? I am telling here as Gmail. Sachin at Gmail. Now what I will do? I will click on submit here. Can you see properly it got submitted, but did I give .com there? No. Why is because in that format, name, at the rate, Gmail is included as a format, but .com it is not included. Why? Because it is not that for every Gmail we will be having .com only. We can have .in, we can have .org, all this can be present. So that is why in the default format they did not include whether it is .com or whether it is .in or whether it is .org, all that. But standard one we will be having at the rate Gmail. If the official it is there, at the rate that company name will come. That they will take care by the company, but this is open, right? This is generic. So that is why here they are including as what? As a Gmail, at the rate Gmail. But .com they are not including because of that reason. People can have .in or .org, .com, anything. So that is why that part that they are not including here. So you need to make sure that you will be giving it properly. Now, Whenever I am giving a proper information here, you can see that automatically it is getting submitted here. But nothing, no action is getting performed here. Is any action is getting performed when I am giving a proper data here? No. So, that is why that action attribute is included. Whenever you are given the complete proper data, whenever you click on that submit button, that action has to be performed. What has to be there? What action you wanted to perform, that action you have to specify. So that is why what they have given here, they have given here that action attribute for the form. Asterisk? That comes under the JavaScript. Here, that is what multiple times I repeated. For us, here, whatever we are getting here, this is just a content part. That red color asterisk, that what we get as to tell it is a mandatory. And if you see, text also we will be getting in a red color only. We will not be getting in this format. All that it is based on what? Based on the JavaScript. But still, that asterisk, whatever it is there, that if you don't want in the red color or if you want in the red color, for that particular text box, we have one tag called as a span tag, where by attaching that span tag, you can give an asterisk there. When the span tag comes, I will be explaining you what is the functionality of that span tag. So right now, just by using this input box or the label, that asterisk content there we cannot get. If you are giving that asterisk, again you have to tell that as a paragraph. Paragraph you are telling automatically it will go to the next line. It will not come after the text box. It will always start with the new line. How many characters it has to take, that many characters it will take. But still, what is his requirement? That requirement we can achieve, but it is only 50%. Means manually we are placing up the things there. But that comes under the validation, that we have to do it in the JavaScript. But still, that asterisk I will show you when the span tag I am explaining, that how you can give that span tag and how you can place content exactly after that input box. Fine? Okay. So this is how that we will be creating. Now, as I said, action, that what I have here, when this action will come into picture? Whenever you have given the proper data, whenever you clicked on the submit, some action it has to come to us. Sometimes we can get a message as registration is successful. Sometimes we can tell as login successful. Sometimes if you want to redirect it to any other website, you can tell it. So, this one thing that I am giving you as an assignment. In the action, I wanted you to give any link or any path you give. Once you clicked on that particular button, it has to get redirected to that particular page. It has to redirect to what? It has to be redirected to the particular page. It can be a Tap Academy, it can be a Facebook, it can be a Twitter, it can be anything. So, give. In the HREF, how you have given that path, right? Like that, give that path where in the actions. So, once it is completed, once you click on the submit, if all data it is proper, then what we can do? We can redirect to that particular thing. Is it clear to everyone? So, this is just first example. This is not our complete example. There are many other things that which you have to learn in the forms. There are many other different types of inputs that you have to learn in the form. And we have to properly design our form as a part by part. Because we will be having, see, whenever you are registering, you will be having some personal details, you will be having an education details, you will be having a project details, internship details, so many things that they will be asking. So all that we will be implementing. Okay, so for today I will be stopping here. The next example we'll see in the next class. Thank you everyone. Thank you all.